Yo YouTube, GK's back with another video on Cowboy Bebop. This is one of my most successful topics done on the channel and seems to be one of my most controversial. And it just seems like every time I want to get the ball rolling, life just wants to hit you in the face, set you back, and I can't get the videos out on time the way I want to. But in this video, we're going to focus on a couple of different aspects and things while posing many questions to you, as you guys have had a lot to say, both positive and negative, about the Cowboy Bebop live action mini series. If you do like the anime content, please leave a like, because that lets me know if I should stay with more anime and less on gaming. I know gaming has been kind of hard on this channel specifically because next gen still doesn't exist, so maybe you are leaning towards more anime, but let me know. Streaming will start once we get a PlayStation 5. I am still playing some games. We did beat Nier Replicant, but I don't really think you guys want to see a review on that. I have started Blasphemous, the Castlevania Souls-like roguelike. That has been really fun. I recently just started Call of Cthulhu. Really enjoying that a lot, actually, and may do like a gaming wrap-up video once I clean up some of these games, because I am still sticking by what I said. I'm not getting a new game that should be played on a PlayStation 5 and playing it on the PlayStation 4. I refuse to do that. So without further ado, hopefully this video goes over a little bit better than the last one.
Yo, it's the Grown Kid Talk Show. Yo, it's the Grown Kid Talk Show. Yo, Grown Kid Talk Show. Yo, it's the Grown Kid Talk Show.
Alright, so let's talk about the cast a little bit more. As you can see from our thumbnail picture, we have Cho there, Mustafa Shakir, and Daniela Pineda. The big problem here is, where is Ed? Do we like Danielle Pineda as Faye Valentine? I freaking love it. It's a great choice. Most of the women cast in all of these like video game, anime adaptations have been beautiful, while the men absolutely are trash. Mustafa Shakir is jet black, a black male. That's a conversation we've been having in the comment sections. It seems about 50-50, and that's kind of putting it lightly. I have kind of gotten a little bit more on board with him. That is an older picture. He has cut his hair for the role. I am slowly getting more and more in tune and okay with it. Not to say that it's the best choice. I'm just kind of open to hoping that he's going to do a good job in the role. So I'm optimistic about it, yet still have some severe reservations about him as Jet Black. Jet Black is the oldest of the crew, and unfortunately, when you're standing next to Cho, you're going to look younger. That's the big problem here. Faye Valentine. I don't believe that Danielle Pineda is going to look good next to Cho. Cho, to me, is the worst cast choice out of the ones I've seen. And it just so happens he's the most important. He looks oldish, and anyone who says otherwise is just defending that without looking at the actual person. And I just don't think that works and looks right in the dynamics of the characters standing together. What do you think about the character choices? Who's good, who's bad, and who's downright terrible? And is it okay if Radical Edward is not there? This comes from And Me, Cowboy Bebop live action Netflix series cast, release date, trailer, and everything we know so far. How many episodes will it be? It will be 10 episodes. Let's talk about this, because as you know, the series length is 26 plus a movie. But let's continue. The Thor Ragnarok screenwriter, Christopher Yost, will pen the first episode. So let's stay on the episode list first. It was later confirmed that each episode will be an hour long, as opposed to the original anime's shorter episode runtime. Co-writer Javier Grillo Marchand told IO9 that the longer episodes will help give the series room to develop its own narrative and expand the stories of different characters, deviating from the original show's format, which primarily focused on episodic adventures. He said, "We're not going one-to-one on all the original show's stories, because we're also trying to tell a broader story of Spike Spiegel and the Syndicate. Spike, Spiegel, and Julia, Spike, Spiegel, and Vicious, and all that. But we are looking at the show and saying, who are some of the great villains in this show, and how can we put them into this broader narrative?" Let's talk about this for a second, right? I understand that you need to expand and expound upon getting this bigger picture for the show. The main reason you would do that, though, is because each episode is going to be an hour long. Now, that's not a full hour. It's probably closer to 45 minutes, but you get what I'm saying, because it would tell us that every hour-long Netflix show would be 2 episodes of the real show. That puts us at already for this first season at 20 original Cowboy episodes. That scares me, especially since you don't have Radical Edward, but you're already at episode 20, and imagine how much of the show is already done by episode 20. So I'm a little worried. I'm a little confused. How's that gonna work? And the fears, are you stretching it too far? Are you making it so broad that you lose what Cowboy Bebop was? Very contained. What do you think about the Netflix show potentially being in the first season already up to 20 episodes of the original out of 26 plus a movie? It was confirmed that the original creator is a consultant, and I wanted to double check this because I am worried about how this is all shaking down. At least Watanabe is 100% going to be a consultant. And this is my main worry. The lack of direction. We have Alex Garcia Lopez doing 5 episodes and Michelle Cattleman doing 5 episodes. If you know, we had talked about this before. Why can't one person have the vision for the show, who I think Lopez is actually the dude, and get it all together and it be one cohesive story? When 2 people do something, the chances are it's gonna get a little muddy. The first 5 episodes might look way better than the next 5 episodes, or vice versa. One director's work might feel different. And the feeling of Cowboy Bebop is that it was uniformly the same. How do you achieve that? By having 2 people's different visions, and then you split it exactly in half to say, or at least insinuate, that they're equal. They weren't a couple months ago when I made that first video, but look at all those writing credits. Why are there so many writing credits? And you might be saying, oh, you just don't know how it works. Writing credits get thrown out like Skittles. No, I am sure they do. I am sure they do, but it is weird to me when something so beautifully crafted as Cowboy Bebop manga and anime would need 2 directors and all of those writing credits. I don't get it. I don't get it. And one of the most positive things is that Yoko Kanno, the composer behind the original soundtrack, is coming back to do the soundtrack again with remixes and new sounds and new music, and I'm about that. That's the kind of innovation and creativity and bringing something to live action. That's what I like to see. Back to that NME article. Adaptation concluded production in March 2021. Cho sustained a serious knee injury while on set in New Zealand. So there's a little information. New Zealand is a set piece for some kind of desolate moon or planet in October 2019, setting filming back until it resumed amid the pandemic in 2020. I do think that it's dope that Cho was doing his own stunts and got injured. You know, not that his injury I think is dope, but it's dope that he was doing them, and that gives him a little point in my book for being cool. You know, but unfortunately, I'm talking about Spike Spiegel, and being cool isn't enough for Spike Spiegel. You have to be everything. The total package. And I'm sorry, in my opinion, he's not. But that's not why I pulled this up. The show has finished filming. In order to find some kind of information about Radical Edward, I had to go to Cinema Blend, and they had to say that Ed will be on the show too, but we still don't know who's playing her. Well, if the show has finished filming, then how is Ed going to be in the show? And I dare one person to say it's a surprise. Surprise, we gave you Radical Edward. That says more to me than anything, that you think you're gonna surprise Cowboy Bebop fans with Radical Edward, a main character that needs to be there. Now, Radical Edward doesn't appear till I think episode 9. Okay, cool. Every episode is an hour long. Back to that Netflix format. In that case, Ed pops up in episode 5 of the show. Am I the only one who's just confused by that? Do I just not see how Cinema Blend could say that Ed will be in the show? And I'm hoping that by expounding upon the larger picture of the Syndicate and Vicious and Julia, which I'm really hoping they don't spend too much time on, honestly. I want the anime elements. I want those stories to be told, and in the hour format, it could really do that. I thought this video was going to explain some things, and there are some positive takeaways, like Watanabe consulting the original composer, and almost all of the casting choices except for Spike Spiegel, and Jet Black's on that fence like, I don't know. I really want to know your thoughts. Do you like the idea of having 2 different directors and 2 different visions and hoping they come together in this beautiful masterpiece? The writing credits for a story that was written so meticulously that it's really unnecessary. We should be getting Cowboy Bebop rumored sometime later this year. I know it's been a minute since I dropped a video. This takes a lot out of me, honestly, because I love Cowboy Bebop. And no, I don't know everything about the show, every freaking little detail. I don't know everything about everything, okay? I'm a fan of it. That's all. It's my favorite anime of all time. The Netflix show might be pulling more from the manga than the show. And I do think that is a good thing. And I am suggesting to you and myself that we go as fans reread the original manga for Cowboy Bebop. Hope you had a good one. I'm the grown kid.